Hello and welcome to a new episode of Accesa Tech Talks. I'm your host, Radu, and as you might already know, this podcast series aims to explore the technologies of tomorrow's businesses. Today we'll be talking about something a bit different than what you've been used to so far. If until now we've explored specific technological topics, today we'll rather focus on a specific geographical area, which is, more precisely, the Nordic countries. With increasing regulatory pressure, talent shortages, and this global race for digital transformation, companies in Sweden, Denmark, or Norway must move away from the legacy systems to something more robust, more modern, more scalable, and also something more data-driven when it comes to architecture and the software space. For us at Accesa, this topic is even more interesting because we've started relatively recently to expand to the Nordics. So today we're going to talk about how Nordic companies can modernize legacy systems right now for future readiness and how they can unlock competitive advantages through digital transformation. And today's guest is Mikael Wällstedt, a tech sales coach and an international go-to-market advisor. With over 25 years of experience across 16 countries, he now helps tech businesses succeed in Sweden by combining proven sales strategies with modern AI tools. Mikael, welcome to our show.
Thank you, Radu. So excited to be part of this. And I have so many things I want to talk to you.
I'm really happy to see this enthusiasm from you. Maybe you can tell us something about yourself and your experience working with tech and also business leaders in the Nordics.
Yes, definitely. So I had the opportunity to work with more than 25 years with many enterprise software programs, quite big ones, I would say. Just to give a few examples, I was responsible for modernizing the GSM network in Sweden. I was responsible for build out and also to do an enhancement of the data network for tens of thousands of ATM machines in Sweden. I have been delivering mobile data applications for the largest logistic companies in the Nordics, like DHL, like DB Schenker, like the Norway Post, and a lot of logistic companies in Sweden. I'm also working with the oil and data and gas industry with data transformation to make sure that we can get the oils up from the North Sea. So it's been a lot, and since then I had my own company also trying to help others to accelerate innovation, accelerate AI implementations in the Nordics for the last 3 years. And that's why also I've been working with companies from 16 different countries.
If until now I thought you are the right guest for today's topic, now I'm 100% sure you're the one. And as it was the case in your career, there is a lot happening right now in the world and in the market, from AI to supply chain issues, and I know these are applicable also in the Nordic countries. How are these trends shaping how leaders in the Nordic countries think about tech investments and how they make decisions in this regard?
Yes, that's a very important question, of course, because we're always looking for the next business opportunities. And I would say that there are maybe 3 things that are at the moment really important to drive the Nordic tech investments. And the first thing is really the AI. We can't disregard that the AI is a leapfrog technology. It will change a lot of things. Still, in the Nordics, we are at a stage where this is not started yet. We are most companies are deploying POCs and pilots and so on, but that is going to happen, and that's going to happen over the next 1 to 3 and maybe 5 years. So to move these pilots, these POCs into real productions, and it's going to change a lot. Maybe we'll talk more about that later. The second thing, I do see that there is a big changing in the supply chain volatility, because after the post-pandemic situations, we had a lot of shortage of different products, products and services. And, at the same time, we have the situation with a lot of conflicts in the area. We have the Israel, we have the Russia and the Ukraine situation. And on top of that, we have the new tariff situations, and that is big headaches for the Nordic companies, because not a lot of Nordic companies are export driven. They do need to work with the outside world. So that forces them to change. And what do they need to do? They need to invest in new technology that can manage this situation with the fluctuation a lot better. And the third reasons I would say that is driving tech investment very big now is the regulation. There's new regulations like the AI Act, for example, the Cybersecurity Act and so on from EU that companies need to comply with. And you can't just do that with old technology. So there are three things: that the AI, the supply chain, and regulation. That's all three major things that, forces companies to invest.
But still, they are using older systems, a lot of them, as far as I understood. What's making it harder for them to modernize faster? Because the need is there for sure. But still the advancements maybe aren't as expected. Do you think this is starting to change?
First of all, I think it has to change, because it's true that a lot of the Nordic countries are a little bit on the legacy side. Now, we should remember that a lot of the companies in the Nordic, they started quite early to digitalize. Some of them started to do robotization in manufacturing only in the 1970s. The point is that when they started, they employed one system, and when that system became modern, they bought another one, and then they bought another, but they didn't take away the first one. And that has come to situations that many companies today in the Nordics are sitting with thousands of support systems to manage. It's a huge supply, support costs and technical depth. So, and these systems, maybe 20, 25 years ago, they were super modern, but that was 25 years ago. And those systems were more hard-coded. They weren't as agile and modular as the technology we have today, which makes it a little bit hard for them to move to the next step. They are living in a system situation with, it's like a spider net or a big spaghetti, network that is very hard. So it's not that easy for them to manage the situation. Even at some point of time, they need to do that because they are regulating push. There are cybersecurity threats. So they need to do it.
I think that's the advantage of the countries that weren't such early adopters, because they don't have so much to maintain as companies in the Nordics that started earlier, right?
That is true, and we can just compare Italy and Sweden, for example. So in Sweden, because the government, they did huge investment in broadband and fiber infrastructure 25 years ago, which means that a lot of companies and also people, consumers at home, they have the computers at home. In Italy, the government invested more in the mobile technology, which means that people have mobile technology. They go and they made a leapfrog. They made mobile first in Italy, while we in Sweden, we are sitting with the computers and fibers. So yeah, it's good and bad. It's good sometimes to be early, but on the other side, as you say, you're stuck with that technology. You need to manage that as well. That's a headache.
Yeah, for sure. But what's the real business risk they are facing if they don't modernize soon?
Yeah, of course. That is the problem is that, old technology, it becomes older and older for every day. Functionality wise, it probably they can continue to use it, but it also opens up risks. Open up risk on the cybersecurity, because the cyber criminal smart guys, they always find these holes to get into, but also on compliance. Because if you open on cybersecurity threats and so on, you're not compliant with the legislation. We talk about operational risks. If we talk about downtime for a big Volvo factory, we can talk about millions per hours in downtime losses. So, and also I would say that there are risks on attracting talents, because young, smart people, they want to work on companies that are forward-leaning, not backwards-leaning. So you need to move forward with what you do. And I don't think that the companies are, the management in the companies are not, they want to move forward. It's just that it's so difficult for them, and they need all the help they can get.
Nordic countries are known, and I think they are known in the whole world, for being careful and for thinking long term. And we all already covered partly this thing with the infrastructure that was built so early on. However, sustainability isn't not only a trend there, it's a must. And the question is, how can digital tools and automation support this mission, this must, which is sustainability?
Yes, that's a very important question, because and just to enhance what you're saying, it really, really is a must. It's not just nice to have. And I meet many suppliers that thinks that it's just nice to have, but it's a must. And I had one case where I was working with a company. We had a very perfect delivery. We had a great price and everything was almost agreed, but we didn't tick the sustainability box, and we didn't win the business. So this is very, very important. Now, how we can help? Well, I mean, just remember that we are a cold country. It is very cold in Sweden, good and bad, but we have households, we have schools, we have hospitals to heat up, and that's costing a fortune. At the same time, we're using more and more electricity and energy for our EV vehicles and our mobile telephones and everything. And we need to double the number of, energy until 2045. So we need to build more, nuclear plants and solar power plants and all that. At the same time, we need to optimize it. So there's a very big use case where automation and AI technology and everything can really help to optimize the energy. And there are, of course, many other ways as well. And we see more and more of the.
Can you repeat, please? So double the number, double the efficiency, the energy until when?
Until 2045. So that is 20 years in the future. But if we talk about energy, 20 years is a very short time. So
right.
So you can't just, and so that is a big headache in order to just, so we both need to double the energy, but also at the same time, we need to make it more efficient, the energy usage.
What should IT companies from outside Nordics, what should they understand about how things like trust, consensus, and local culture influence digital adoption in the countries in the Nordics?
I think they need to be aware that Nordic, a lot of the Nordic companies, specifically the larger ones, they have digitalized since many years back. They are not on the first generation mobile applications. Right. They may be on the third level or third generations, and they have a lot of legacy. They have a lot of legacies. And when they buy services from suppliers, they don't just need a great programmer or software designer. They need change management. They need a great project leader. They need a lot of other stuff around it. And you can't just write down all these things in a requirement specification, because it's just too difficult. You need to work in a partnership and solving problems together, how they come up. And that is really how I think that a lot of suppliers should try to think about when they try to make business in the Nordics.
If you were to look ahead, what would be the biggest opportunities And on the flip side, what would be the biggest risks that companies in the Nordics should be getting ready for?
I think, as the world is changing very fast, I see that there's so many things changing, and that means to me a very positive thing as well. There are a lot of opportunities. I think one of the biggest one that I would rate is the agentic AI. That is something that we just heard about yet, and but that is such a big step forward that. And I know there are companies doing pilots, there are companies doing tests in this area, but nobody has deployed anything yet. So that is a big, big opportunity. And it's not just the agentic AI. There's a lot of things that you need to do around it. You need to clean up the network. You need to clean up the data centers. You need to move to the cloud. All of this needs to happen to facilitate and enabling the AI, agentic AI. So that's really one of the biggest opportunities that I see. On the risk side, I do see that, the geopolitical situation is changing as well. So what was true yesterday may not be true today. And companies need to make sure that they stay on top of the situation. They need new technology so they can change faster, they can be more agile, and they can be more following the different trends that are changing. So that is on the risk side that we do see that it's since specifically Sweden or even the full Nordic is very export driven. They need to be able to work with partners. So they need probably to find new partners and make sure that they have the right partners for the future as well.
When it comes to agentic AI, just a quick reference to the audience. So in the last two episodes, we touched on this subject. In the second episode, we touched on agentic AI with one colleague of ours, Maria. And in the last episode, we had an interesting discussion with UiPath and their journey with agentic AI and how they incorporate that in their platform. Just a quick reference because you mentioned it as an interesting topic right now, also in the Nordics, actually in the whole world because it's pretty new. And yeah, we dived deeper into it, and maybe for the ones that didn't see that episode, maybe you can check it out.
That sounds great. Sounds like you're taking a leadership here, and that's what we need. That's also what the Nordics, and not only the Nordics, but the whole world, we need leaders. We need suppliers that can show the leadership and show the way forward in these new areas and how we should do it.
Yeah, you're right. And you also mentioned partnership beforehand, the fact that just a document that describes the requirements isn't enough. Actually, it hasn't been enough for a long time, but especially now with the dynamic that's happening in the world and in the tech space, it's even less enough. And yeah, I think partnership is a key word when it comes to how we can drive success. Yeah.
Definitely.
Good. For leaders who, let's say, know they need to modernize, like normal people know they need to start working out, but they keep keep postponing it. What would you say to them?
I think it's, you can't, as you pointed out, specifically for the Nordics, a lot of people and a lot of companies are very, risk avert, and they take slow steps and they move slowly, but you need to start moving. And sometimes, even in this area, when we're moving to agentic AI, we may not know exactly what the road's going to be ahead, but we need to start working on it. And we need to start working it with partners together to start moving. And because specifically when we talk about modernizations, those projects are so big that you can't just take it from A to B in short time. You need to do it step by step, chop up the elephant and take it step by step. I think that you need to get it started. Get it started.
And also, in order to incorporate AI and current trends, modernization of the architecture, modernization of your space is critical. And this is, let's say, the first step to assess the technological space your company is in, and also to see how you can modernize step by step. And indeed, there are companies such as Accesa that specialize on these types of services to modernize software, legacy softwares in specific industries such as manufacturing or retail. Yeah, indeed. Good. Anything else you'd like to share with us, Michael, that we haven't covered yet?
I think we talked about super exciting stuff, and I think this program is a great channel to really learn more about how to use the smart technologies. I will definitely follow that in the future as well.
Thanks. Thanks for the vote of confidence, and thanks for being here with us. A big thanks for sharing your insights on leadership, on innovation, and on the tech investments overall, because you have vast experience, as you already said, and this helps our channel as well, and I think also the audience. So thanks for being here with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this was our episode about legacy systems, about modernization, and about how companies in the Nordics approach them. If you found today's conversation helpful, inspiring, or even just interesting, we'd love to hear from you. Meanwhile, please subscribe to Accesa Tech Talks on Bright Talk, and follow us, Accesa, on YouTube or LinkedIn for more insights and clips and conversations with industry experts. And of course, join us next time when we'll continue to explore the future of digital transformation. Stay tuned. See you soon. Bye.